All right, welcome to This the News. And tonight we're going to have an open discussion to try to see what's on everybody's mind. Everywhere I go, that's a big discussion. Good to see you, Alexis, 23 Archer, Space Time, good to see you. More Power, good to see you. Rusterman, good to see you. Shout out to everybody watching me on Facebook, X, YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. This is still the news. This is not my regular scheduled program. This is the news. But on the weekends, I will be having discussions about the news because after talking about it, a lot of times I can't get into discussions and answer questions because I'm trying to just tell the news. But on the weekends, we will discuss the news, especially if it's been something heavy in the news. We will be discussing it on This the News. And this war is very heavy in the news. Very. It's a big discussion everywhere I go. And I haven't been able to answer questions to the best of my ability. Um, this is a live flowing situation, so some things I will be able to tell the news. I will be able to tell what's reported. I won't be able to tell anything that's not officially reported because that wouldn't be considered news. So I'll always be reporting whatever the death toll they say on the news. That's what I'll be reporting. I won't be reporting the conspiracies or any other information. But we will discuss it on our open discussion. And that's where you're at today. You're participating in This the News and open discussion. So there's a lot to discuss. I will be here late because once we finish this discussion, I'll have to go and find out what else is going and come over and report the news ending the day. Uh, our news, when I report the news, is half and half. No, this is news. I will do it over here. It had a channel, but I made it a different channel. That's going to be that channel, and it did have a YouTube page. I changed that to Pharaoh Said That Live. And so that channel now that was This the News is Pharaoh Said That Live. And there's a bunch of subscribers over there already. And I'm just waiting on my equipment to come in for the live phone calls and stuff like that. And we'll have that up and running probably by spring. So that's going to be interesting. So that's going to be, Pharaoh Said That Live is going to be basically the subscribers. I won't be talking too much over there. I'll be talking to the subscribers, but it'll be a call in. It's going to be a call in. So Pharaoh said that live is going to be off the chain. I'm just waiting on my machine with all my sound effects, boom, drum, and all that, and I can hit the button and have the call-ins and all that. Have my phone line. It's going to be popping. But the reason I decided to have open discussion on my playlist, because this is a playlist. So This the News is a playlist. You can go to my channel and go to playlist and go to This the News. You can catch up on all the news. But I felt like people wanted to ask questions, get information, and I didn't want to stop the news too much. I'll do it a little bit because sometimes This the News, I'll only be here 15 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe an hour, depending on what the news is. So I'm going to, like on Friday nights, and I think Friday and Sunday, I haven't figured it out yet, but I know Friday for sure, Friday night and Sunday, probably Sunday afternoon, evening, 6 o'clock, something like that, I will have these open discussions about the news. And like I said, it's an open discussion that's perfect for this news playlist because usually on my YouTube channel, I know what I'm going to talk about. I get the information and I drop what I want to drop. But in this case, with a war, I don't have the answers. So it's great to have you all come and ask questions and things like that because the wars are not cut and dry. Wars are flowing. Now, before I get started, the one thing I want to get straight is you all have to get some beans, some rice, some extra water, okay? Backup electricity, even if you got to get those small power packs so you could charge your phone. Light bulbs, stuff like that. We will talk about that Sunday. We'll talk about wartime preparation. And for you younger generation, I just turned 68, and we are practically in the same circle. What do I mean by that? I would say this is really my first time dealing with a war type situation. Although I was here for Desert Storm and all of that, but Vietnam, I was little. Iraq, I was young. But the difference between wars when I was growing up and for this generation I'm in now with you all is there was no social media. And with social media, we're all in the war. Because many of us, we really spend a lot of time on social media. That's where we talk to our relatives. That's where we get our news. When we're running around, you stop somewhere or at work, you go to get a coffee or something, you can go on your phone, you can kind of quickly see what's going on. That's what I like about especially Instagram. Because I can go to Instagram and I can go to like my timeline where everybody's talking, and I can just see what most people are saying. I think Facebook is good for that, but Facebook is a little strange on your phone. X is pretty decent. But what I like about Instagram is if I click on something about the war, the algorithm will keep showing me that kind of stuff. So it helps me find what's going on. But we're in a unique situation with this war. This is the first time America's been in a war using AI, high-tech equipment. I really wouldn't be surprised if they roll out robots and drop them on the battlefield. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. But surely make sure you just make sure you have some backup food and stuff like that. Because Mother Nature is kind of acting crazy too. And the climate in the world today, even if this war ends pretty soon, it seems like there'll be another one. So first off, what do you all think about this war? Tell me in the chat. Like, what do you think about this? What's your opinion on it? Me, I think it was necessary, but I was kind of affected as a child by the Ayatollah Khomeini when they held those hostages for like 400 days. But the Ayatollah made an announcement that he would release the blacks. And they asked him, they said, why would you release the blacks? He said, well, the blacks been through enough already. They've been through slavery. They've been mistreated. We're going to release the blacks and the women. And I was young, so I really don't know what happened, because you used to have to, like, what used to happen is we used to have to like catch like 60 minutes or something like that. So you say 36 trillion national debt. Okay, what you mean? I mean, are they about to have a 36 trillion national debt, or are they 36 trillion in debt? What y'all think? Well, first let me see what he's asking me, and then I'll ask y'all. So you mean you think this war is going to put us $36 trillion in debt? White flame? You said we trying to hold on because we're $36 trillion in debt? Is that what you're saying? We're in debt already. Okay, let's start right there. The American debt. America owes 36 trillion already. Okay, see, that's a good point. That's a good place to start. Now, A lot of Americans, they say America's trillions of dollars in debt. We need to do this. We need to do that. And I know a lot of you probably wonder, why would America sit up there and get that far in debt? And first, they print money. But the main thing, the reason America really has, they don't worry about getting in debt. They don't worry about getting in debt. And first off, the war is a good place to get a good 50 trillion, 100 trillion that they could get from the war. They've already dug themselves out of the debt when they took Venezuela and taken all that oil. So technically, America's not really in debt. Venezuela is the largest oil producing country in the world. And so technically, now that they've gangstered that oil, technically, they're not in debt. Right? Exhibit A. Look at the Saudis and look at Venezuela. And guess who just took Venezuela? So, all right, before they took Venezuela, okay, ride with me. Before the U.S. took Venezuela, they would have been hesitant to go to war with with Iran, because that Gulf area gets shut down and they won't be able to get any oil. But they don't need oil from Saudi Arabia anymore. Okay? So you got to know that they play dumb, but you're dealing with the top of the line gangsters. And so when you hear all this, oh, we're not going to be able to get oil from the Saudis, you think it's a coincidence that they went in there and took Venezuela, that's got the most oil in the world, and now they don't care about the Strait of Hormuz, and they don't care nothing about the Gulf, whether the oil get out or not. They don't care. They don't care. So what does that have to do with the debt? From my point of view, the debt goes like this. Let's say I'm sitting with you and you're making money and I'm going broke. And your money's going up and up and up and up and up. And my money is going down and down and down. But I'm buying guns. So I'm never really going to be broke, because stick them up and I'll take your oil. So what the United States does is they don't care about money. They care about tanks, weapons. They care about the military might to take your money. You understand? You're right. But my estimates is that this uh, Iran can't last. Iran 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 Iran's not going to make it. I see people saying America's losing the war. They just going by. I think they got to be just going by internet gossip because anybody that's watching that war knows that Iran is getting decimated. I mean, totally. Even from the beginning, when they was shooting off all those drones, now they just got a few, and they trying to shoot them all over the place. You could tell they panicking. They shooting at everybody. They shooting at Dubai. They shooting. And they got mad, right? Because they losing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they saying we're losing, but they not watching. They couldn't be watching. They couldn't be watching. I think without really knowing about these countries, I think a lot of Americans think Iran is bigger than it is. You know, Iran wasn't as powerful as Iraq. Iraq was more powerful than Iran. The only reason Iraq had a problem with Iran is because of Desert Storm, because they had just fought the U.S. But Saddam Hussein was the man, not Iran. Iran was not the man. They didn't have an army that could get with Iraq. Not at all. But after Iraq used up so much energy in the Desert Storm, then, Iran, was ready to try to go to war with them. But in war, Russia and China is trying to secretly give Iran weapons, but they playing Iran to the curb because why would you wait this long? Why would you wait till they get decimated? You know what I'm saying? Why would you wait till all my ships is blown up, all my planes is blown up, and then give me what? Give me what? China and Russia is just taking Iran's money. Let me explain something to you. When you live in a situation like in the neighborhood where there's some gangsters, like some high-ranking gang members or whatever, and there's three big guys there. Everybody knows it's him, and him. Those three will never attack each other. You'll have to attack this one, or this one. And they will never work against each other. And if you're going against one of them, they will help you, but they will only be taking your money because they will not help you enough to win. And so China and Russia is not going to help Iran enough to win. Now, they'll take their money, but they will not be able to help them win because if they wanted to help them win, they would have jumped in right in the beginning, right? Why would they wait until all your ships are sank, all your fleet of planes are destroyed? How are they going to help you now? How are they going to help you now? Russia is weak. So you should just talk about China and the U.S. because Russia's out of there. Russia's going broke trying to fight the Ukraine. Russia is crippled right now, okay? Russia is nobody right now. Russia is still fighting. You can't even beat the Ukraine. The Ukraine giving Russia the business. So Russia cannot fight the Ukraine and get in that. That's not going to happen, okay? So anybody saying Russia don't know what they're talking about. The Chinese will never get involved in anybody's war that's not Asian. If you're not Asian, the Chinese is not going to get in it. You understand? You understand? You think Russia is still in this fight? And what fight? The fight with the Ukraine? Because they ain't in this fight over here. If they are, I don't know what they're doing because Iran's getting decimated. Now, I know some of you are not watching, but I am. Iran is decimated. If you've been watching like me and you've seen the amount of drones they were shooting last week, they down to only 8%. They have no planes. They have no Navy. And over the last 3 days, they've blown up more of their naval ships. Their planes is gone. They have no Air Force. They have no Navy. Iran has no Navy and no Air Force. So when you hear people saying America's losing the war, these are people that just watch like social media and repeating on social media. They are not actually watching the war. See all these notes? See, I'm watching the war, okay? And tonight, if you watch me late tonight, I'm going to break it down. No, anybody telling you that is not watching the war. That's for sure. All military experts around the world saying this has been the strongest coming out of a war they ever seen in their life. Young people, listen to me. You are witnessing the first AI war. And this is why America's moving so quickly. Now, you remember I was talking about that company. What's the name of that company? Hold on. Remember the U.S. was trying to get this company to stay. The company didn't want, with the AI, didn't want America to use the AI to go to war. That's the AI where they wiped out Venezuela like that. You've ever seen somebody go in there and, right? So that was this company called Anthropic, right? Anthropic. I remember Anthropic said they didn't want to do no business with the U.S. But see, what they won't tell you is the U.S. is still using Anthropic because it was going to take 3 months to switch them out. You see? You get this, still the news. Listen, it's going to take 3 months to switch them out. So they're still using it right now. Right now. And let me break this down for you. You ain't going to believe this. So watch this. This is going to blow your mind. The U.S. is using AI this is going to blow your mind. With this AI, this is crazy. They're able to process where to attack, right? This is crazy. They're able to process where to attack. And when they attack, let's say they attack you and they're trying to hit your tanks and they hit them, but some tanks still there. The AI is able to reassess the situation, come up with another plan, and send them right back in minutes. I kid you not. The AI, they're using the AI, and from the satellites, they look, and the AI tells them, you can attack them like this. Go this way, go like that, go like that. When they do it, and it halfway work, AI reassesses and say, okay, now go that way, and hit them. You can't make this up. Able to process where to attack, the attack, reassess, and if they miss or didn't totally wipe out the target, attack again in seconds and in minutes. In seconds, in minutes. And this is not no little AI. This is the cream of the crop, where they got different AI working all together. So they got like 3 big AI companies going into like one AI system. And that AI system is taking the information from the other 2 or 3 AI systems and coming up with the ultimate plan and issuing it. And they still using Anthropic because they can't leave for 3 months. That's one of the reasons when they found out Anthropic want to leave, they said, we got to hit Iran right now while we still got it. There's no way Iran can win this war because the United States is using satellites that can see everything they're doing. Everything they're doing. Everything they're doing. I kid you not. You understand? Yeah, I'll do that. Everything. And so they're assessing the situation, and Iraq doesn't have a chance because they're not able to hide, because Iraq got to watch the United States from the ground and from airplanes but the United States watching them from outer space. And with them satellites, I mean, how you gonna beat somebody that got satellites that can see everything? You can't. The technology that America has is almost unmatched. Would nobody be close? Probably, but maybe China. Russia, definitely not. Russia's not. Russia's number 3 now. Russia's not number 2. It's U.S. and China. But the Chinese, if you know anything about the Chinese, they will not get involved. The Chinese is all about circling the wagons, and we just deal with China. If you're not a threat to China, it's none of China's business. So China don't care nothing about this war. And it doesn't matter how much oil they get, America will always give some to China and Russia and vice versa. Because you look at China and Russia and America as competitors. They look at each other as the boss of everybody else. Why would they care? They run everything. Why would they try to outrun each other when the 3 of them, they're doing fine? Russia's definitely not going to go against the U.S. because the U.S. is not helping the Ukraine. They're only selling them weapons. Oh, see, this is what a lot of people don't understand. When you're the superpowers, selling weapons is not a problem. That's not considering helping the other enemy. That's considering making money. They only look at you helping them when you want to give them technology, assistance, troops. But selling weapons is a hustle. America will look at Russia. If Russia sell Iran some weapons, America looking at it like, you just selling them some weapons we're going to blow up. We're going to blow them up. You're going to get a bag, and we're going to blow them up with the new weapons. Because can no weapons help Iran? Iran is not sophisticated enough to fight no war with aircraft carriers and all that. They don't have that. Y'all think they got an air force like the United States? Come on. The United States is not even sending all their military down there. The United States got their military down by South America, by Venezuela. Down there bullying somebody else. They're bullying somebody else down there. Who they bullying? It'll come to me. They bullying somebody else down there. They down there taking somebody else's stuff. What country is they down there in South America bullying now? They down there bullying somebody else. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Ecuador. Yeah, they down there punking Ecuador. So you know they not worried. Or they would bring all forces to them. If they was worried, they'd bring the whole military. Now it's Ecuador. They down there punking Ecuador. They already punked Venezuela. They punked Venezuela in 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Yeah, Ecuador. I talked about that here. Ecuador, because Ecuador is where they're trafficking at. And they want to get rid of the trafficking. I told y'all that 2 or 3 years ago. They're going to get rid of this trafficking of the substances. That's got to go. You're not going to be able to traffic. If China sells hypersonic rockets to Iran, it ain't going to make no difference because as soon as they get them and park them, America going to blow them up wherever they park. Imagine you buying weapons, and I'm in a satellite in outer space. I'm looking. Look. He buying some weapons. Should we get them now? No, no. Let the Chinese make their money. Let the Chinese pay them, and then wait till they get home and we blow up their new stuff. And that helps deplete your economy. Yeah, go spend 20 billion, Iran. We're gonna blow it up before you get back with it. To think about that. If Iran go buy 20 billion worth of weapons and come back and could use them, that's a win. But what about if they buy 20 billion worth of weapons and they get blowed up? That's an L. Am I lying? That's an L. China got paid, we blew you up, and you the sucker. Because they'll be like this. Hello, this is Ching. Yes, they come pick weapons up Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Oh, we made good. Yeah, 20 billion. They come Thursday. They come Thursday. All right, thank you. All right, boo. America, like, yeah, get your money, player. You know what I'm saying? You can sell Iran all the weapons in the world. They do not have the technology or the military to use it. They don't. Them drones they got is a bunch of cheap drones. They just got 1 billion of them. And the U.S. been blowing those up. We're going to talk about that later on tonight. They got a bunch of drones and stuff underground, and America's blowing up the whole underground. I'm telling you, man, they over there taking a beat. I don't know what nobody telling you. I think they selling hype. I'm watching the pros. I'm not just watching the U.S. I'm watching these military channels that from Europe, and they not Americans. I'm watching people that ain't even Americans. They don't care nothing about. They ain't pro-America. They just in the military. Yeah, it's a cold game. But anybody that think Iran got a chance, I understand that because they sold Iran as the boogeyman. But Iran is not Germany or Britain or nobody like that. They bootleg. And then they in the desert. Now, if they was Vietnam, yeah, because Vietnam was in the jungle. Yeah, India set them up. They got the ship, and right after they left Indian waters, they got blown up. Yeah, India set them up on count. Because Iran can't beat India. India decimate Iran. Will this be a long war? No. This war is almost over. This war is almost over. I watched it. I mean, it was genius. If you're in the military, America, man, they played that. Man, this is what they did, y'all. They come in. They know Iran's main strength is drones. They got 1 billion drones. Boy, they played them like suckers. So they teamed up with Israel. Now Israel got the things that got the Iron Dome. So Israel was knocking all their drones out. Right? So out of 100% of drones, only like 10% would get through with Israel, right? So they had Israel attack the leadership, find out where the leadership is, and blow up the leadership. So Israel blew up all their leadership. So now if you don't have no leadership, right? If you don't have no leadership, then you don't got nobody to call a play. So every time the leadership would meet, Iran wiped them out. Like the other day, they wiped out all the buildings, all the leadership went to meet. That's how they got rid of that Ayatollah. He was there for that. And all the leadership wiped them out. Then they had another meeting and wiped them out, right? Wiped them out. Right? So then what they did was they know you got drones, right? So I'm America. You got drones. They said they got a lot of drones. America's gangster. America like this. Well, they can't reach me, right? Can the drones reach the United States? No. The drones can reach Dubai. The drones can reach over there, but the drones can't reach over here. So if I'm in the United States, do whatever. You can't even reach me. You don't even got a rocket to come over here. So you can't win because you can't do nothing to our country. So anytime they can blow up your country, but you can't blow up their country, you're not going to win. How? How you going to win when you don't got nothing that can reach over here? So what America did, they said, okay, this was the military strategy. Use the Iron Dome, tease them, Israel, because they hate y'all. Unalive their leaders. If you unalive their leaders, they'll get emotional and they'll attack Israel. But Israel got the Iron Dome, so they'll be wasting drones. Meanwhile, America's coming. Right, they got mountains. But this is what America did, y'all. America came and knocked the Navy out first. So now when you knock the Navy out, now you can pull all your battleships in. And now you can fly off your battleships that got no Navy. So now you got the drones and you got the Air Force. Now you can't attack the drones. This is why people is saying Iran was winning, because America let them do the drones. Y'all do the drones. Instead of worrying about the drones, because, okay, if you're shooting drones and I come to get the drones and you got an Air Force, the Air Force could come and shoot me out the air. So America wiped out their Air Force. When America wiped out their Air Force, that's when you seen them start shooting drones like crazy. Like when you get in a fight and a guy just start fighting like this. First he fighting like this, and then when he started getting beat up, this Iran. They just start they start swinging like a girl. So they wiped out their Air Force. Now, once they wipe out your Air Force, you got nothing to stop them from destroying your drones. Once the Air Force was wiped out, they came and blew up all their nuclear sites, and they started blowing up the launchers and the drones. And this is the cold part. America, this is Iran. America would fly right here and let these missiles out of your range where you can shoot them. But the missiles fly. So the missiles is like drones, but they're not drones. They're like jets. So they was coming out around the country and dumping out these jet missiles that fly and blow all your stuff up. Now, there's nobody to shoot back at because the airplane that dropped the missiles is not in your range. Oh, this is as gangster as it get. This is what they've been doing. If I'm giving y'all knowledge, because a lot of people are not going to tell you I'm telling you the details of how they winning. They're not even going, if this your gun and you Iran and you can shoot me. If I'm an airplane, you can shoot me here. Well, they're not flying here. They flying there and releasing the missiles, and the missiles come and blow that up. So when people say America's taking more casualties, they lie. America's never around to take no casualties. America is not around. They're not in a position that they only lost 6 people. There's nobody to unalive. When people tell you that, they don't know there is no soldiers to unalive. They are not coming into Iranian territory. They sending them missiles. They got them B-52 bombers and the B-51. And they dropping like these big old missiles, like 30 of them, 40. And they going boom, 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 blowing all your stuff. There's nobody to shoot back. The plane way out there. The B-52, they can hit that, so that stays out. Then they got, I think, the B-51, that big stealth one. It's too high. If they shoot, they can't hit it. It's just going over top and just dropping 30 bombs, 40 bombs, 30 bombs. So now, since about 2 days ago, they wiping out the drones. So this war has gone from, with the drones from Iran, they went down from 100% to 70%. They down to like 10%. 90% is wiped out. Their effectiveness is only at 10%. I kid you not. They're not striking nothing. They shot all them drones. Yeah, you have to be able to see real good. They shot all them drones at Israel, and only 2 got through. Only 2 got through. And now by Monday, they probably won't have no drones by Monday. See, when people tell you America lose, they don't understand. America's just doing the final, they just now attacking the drones. So what they were showing you is them shooting all them drones. America let them shoot them drones. Because to beat you, we got to get rid of these ships. So they sunk all your ships. You see that ship they sunk yesterday? Sunk their Navy ship, blew it to smithereen. It's in the bottom of the ocean. They got rid of their Navy. They got rid of the Air Force. Anybody tell you the Air Force is decimated? Decimated. They don't have an Air Force no more. All they got is drones. So they shooting off all the drones to make the world think they still in the fight, but they not. America like this. Now we finna come get the drones. They couldn't get the drones. They couldn't get the drones. They couldn't get the drones because you can't get the drones because you got to go through the Navy and Air Force, right? So you get rid of the Navy. If you don't get rid of the Navy, you can't get rid of the Air Force. So you get rid of the Navy. Now that you get rid of the Navy, now you can get rid of the Air Force. And they just got rid of the Air Force, what, the day before yesterday? So guess what they're getting rid of now? The drones. It won't be a drone nowhere by Wednesday. How you think the Iranians in the U.S. feel about it? What they gonna do about it? The United States is the only country in the world where the people is more dangerous than the military. They'll get laid down over here. Look at me. Y'all think Iranians could come to Chicago and play with us? Come on, bro. They over there dusty and ain't popping. America is armed to the T. America's got guns, good guns. There ain't nobody got guns like Americans. America's got more guns than some of these people's military. Hey, am I lying? American citizens got more guns than some countries' whole military. That is a fact. If you think I'm lying, go out on New Year's Eve and listen. They don't want no smoke like that. The American citizens is an army in itself. And then a lot of Iranians in America, they hate Iran. Why you think they're in America? They don't like Iran. They can't live free. If you was Iranian over here, you want to go back to Iran. Iran is sucks. So I'm glad you brought it up. That's why America decided to attack. America decided to attack because they want to attack right quick while they can still use AI. And also, the Iranians hate the government. It's like 100% of the people being ruled by none but 20%. Them people hate that government, but they can't say nothing because they'll get unalived. Where the Iranians made a mistake is the Iranians let America know that they people hate them. When the Iranians unalived those 7,000, because America was watching the protests, I was too. Over the last, it was really on the internet over the last like 4 months, where the Iranians was protesting their government. They was in the streets going crazy. When the Iranians unalived 7,000 of their own citizens, they created a group that don't like them. But the Iranian citizens don't have the military to overthrow their government. So what America and Israel's doing is knocking down their military enough where the Iranian people are the ones going to take it. America's not going to take it. America's not going to take it. America's knocking them down so that the people could take it, and they're going to take it. A lot of them Iranians in the military and in the government hate the government, but they can't say nothing. They can't say nothing. You got to, go along to get along. That's why they wiped out their whole leadership. Yeah, they celebrate. I would too. I didn't understand Americans that didn't support America going in there when you got freedoms and rights. And it's a gangster's world. And once they see that your people don't like you, all America's trying to do is knock Iran down enough where the people can take it over. And they're going to arm the people. You think they brought the Kurds in? Why you think they brought the Kurds in? The Kurds are coming in bringing what to the Iranians? Weapons to the Iranian opposition. Trust me. They then gave the Kurds guns and say, take these. Pharaoh's thoughts. Russia is providing Iran with intelligence about the locations and movements of U.S. troops, ships, aircraft, according to multiple people familiar with U.S. intelligence reporting. Yeah, because they can't do nothing about it. Iran, you could be right here. Now, what they going to do? They ain't got nothing. If we done decimated your Navy and decimated your Air Force, what difference do it make if you know where I'm at? You can't get here. You know what I'm saying? You can't get here. You can't get here. Russia can't save them. Russia playing them like a fool. Russia can't save them. If they give you intelligence where the troops and everything, the troops is out on the ships. Ain't no troops there. So how you going to get to them? That's like G-Right, you at the house. Somebody broke your house and stole your guns and stuff. And some dudes downstairs with 3 guns. And the intelligence tell you it's 3 dudes downstairs with guns. But you ain't got one. It don't matter if you know. It don't matter if you know if they down there or not. It don't matter what Iran know. They can't do nothing about it. That's my point. They're done already. They're done. This is a cold game. Russia call America. Hey, we're going to tell them this and that. They say, okay, go ahead. Because Russia got to try to do what it can do to get what it's going to get. Don't think them countries don't talk amongst each other. You ain't see, listen, Russia worked with America. For one, Russia's always in debt to America because America saved Russia when Hitler was finna destroy Russia. So Russia is always in debt to the United States, period. Without the United States, the Germans would have conquered Russia, okay, in World War II. And them white people, they stand on that type of history. 2, Trump did not fully support Zelensky. Who remembers when Zelensky came and the president and the vice president dissed him and he stormed out? Who remember? Who remember? How did Trump treat Zelensky? He dissed him. Zelensky had to go and get drones from the French. They ain't get them from the U.S. Trump was like, get your ass out of here. This is Zelensky. This is Trump. This is Putin and Trump. Putin and Trump is cool. Don't let nobody fool you. It was what, 4 or 5 months after Trump dissed Zelensky, he was walking around smiling with Putin over here. They not enemies. America is not, America vowed, we're not going to send no direct weapons in that war. We'll sell them weapons, but they got to fight on their own. We won't have no, that one rocket went like past Poland or something, and it was like, I thought y'all said y'all weren't going to cross space, but that was an accident. America's not helping the Ukraine. In that gangster world of military, selling weapons is not considered being a traitor, depending on what weapons you sell. And America will sell you junk. They will sell you weapons that ain't going to beat the Russians. They've been doing that when they came here. They would go see 2 groups of Native Americans beefing. They would sell them raggedy guns and them raggedy guns. And then when they kind of wipe them out, then they go wipe them both out. Them superpowers don't give a damn about Iran. None. China, Russia, or America. England, Germany. No, they don't care nothing about no Iran. And you over there calling white people infidels and all that. Well, listen, they don't like you. Nobody gonna help them. If somebody's gonna help them, that should have happened about 5 days ago. They already decimated. Like, how you gonna help them? And you know that's bogus. You know, G-Rod's real bogus for me to call up Iran right now and say, I'll help you. Hey, G-Rod, after they got all beat up, right? G-Rod, Russia, wait till you get beat up and stomped out. You ain't got no Navy, you ain't got no Air Force or nothing. And then they'd be like, oh, we'll help you. How? They can't give them no warships. Think about it. They can't give what they can give them. Nothing. I'm telling you, man, they'll sell them that stuff and be right on the phone with Trump. Hold on. I'm finna tell them. Hold on, Donald. Hold on. Sure. Yeah, we'll send you some. What you say I should send them? I'm gonna send them that old stuff. Yeah, y'all could beat that stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna send them old F-49s. We got to get rid of them. Yeah, you got the hyper missiles. Just blow them up when it. Don't blow them up as soon as I give them to you, Donald. Give it a couple of days. I don't want them to know, you know. Let them think I sold them something. I'm getting a bag here. All right, those for Danya. You know what I'm saying? True. You know what I mean? China will sell them some stuff. They'll sell you some stuff, but they sell you their junk, though. They're not going to sell you their good weapons. They're going to sell you some junk that you can't win with. Iran was a lone wolf, not dealing with nobody, a hater, and Iran was supporting terrorists that was stealing everybody's tankers, the Chinese tankers, the British tankers, the U.S. tankers. Yes, Iran was funding the Houthis and all them that was stealing everything from everybody. They got no friends. They was taking the oil tankers and all that. You know Iran ain't got no friends. They shooting at the Saudis. They shooting at the AEU. The Saudis say, listen, man. America say, nah, y'all ain't got to get it. The Saudis say, you want us to just blow them up and get them out of here? America's like, nah, we got it. So the Saudis is just on defense. But the Saudis want to blow them up. Man, Iraq can't beat the Saudis. Iraq is nobody. They big mad, but mostly not. They're mostly shooting a bunch of drones because their leadership is gone. They ain't got no leadership to direct the war, and they ain't got no planes. So they trying to scare. They trying to act like the big wolf. Like you got certain animals in the jungle. When some try to eat them, they swell up. So you can't get them in your mouth, like the puffer fish and stuff like that. They just fronting. But the statistics show if you only got 9%, if you only 100%, and now you only got 9% of your drones going off, you're done. I don't know. There's black people everywhere, but you know what I'm saying? There's no way you can go where it ain't some black people, but they're not, they're irrelevant. They're irrelevant. They might be there, but they have no relevance unless it's in Africa, the United States, something like that. It's very few black people in the world got relevance like in the United States. Like that. They don't be having black politicians and power like that. They ain't, you know what I'm saying? He want them to surrender. They gonna surrender. It's just a matter of days. But if they don't surrender, they have bought in the Kurds from Kurdistan. And they bought the Kurds in. The Kurds is with the Iranian opposition, the Iranians that hate their government. And they're not telling the whole story when they say the Kurds came and bought weapons. Okay? The Kurds bought weapons. And they said it over and over again. Trump and them said it. We just trying to help the opposition liberate themselves. But people listen to what they want to listen to. And, it's the internet. So nobody, they don't want to listen. But they said it over and over again. We just want to help them get their liberation. And then Trump say, but I got to pick who the next ruler is. They already own that. They already own that. It's over for Iran. So they brought the Kurds in from Kurdistan. Now, Kurdistan is very unique place. Look, now I found this very interesting. Now, it's called Kurdistan, but look, it's in Turkey, it's in Syria, it's in Iraq. How? So it's not a country. I never seen nothing like this before. Have y'all? It's called Kurdistan. How is it Kurdistan? I don't understand it. Now, maybe that's a land right there and those other countries in there, but Iraq is not shaped like that with no little point at the top. When they show these countries ain't shaped. This is not there. It's like a police action coup. No, it's the United States helping. Iran got too many opposition. There's a whole bunch of Iranians that hate Iran. Then it's the Iranians that run Iran, but they got the weapons. America's trying to take their weapons down so that the other Iranians could be liberated. And then they want to put somebody in to represent the new regime and the new way the Iranians going to be living. The Iranians don't want to live under that fanatical religion no more. And America always hated Iran. They've been enemies for a long time. So now that they see, it's like let's say, okay, it's like this. Let's say I'm in a gang. I'm in a group of GDs. And Pharaoh, I run this group of GDs. Then you got some GDs over there, and another dude run them. But me and them is enemies. I got 30 men. But he find out that 15 of my men left. They don't want to deal with me no more. They don't want me being a boss no more. So then they set me up to get rid of me and let them pick a new boss. Basically, that's what basically is going on. They helping the Iranians get rid of the Ayatollahs. There ain't gonna be no more Ayatollahs. They helping the Iranians get rid of them, and then they're gonna prop up the new Iranian government, which will be allies with the United States, allies with Israel, cool with the Saudis, like that. We'll get along in the region. Good to see you, Lady Lioness. That's basically what's going on. So the Iranians made too many enemies of their own people. So if America's already your enemy and you make 2/3 of your people your enemy, they say we can move on them. Now they hate them. Now I know a lot of y'all, you wasn't, go back and search Iranian protests and then you'll see. But he got to go. To me, he got to go because I've been in this country a long time. I'm born 1958, and we've always protested, right? We've always protested. We've always been able to march on Washington. Now imagine if MLK and them would have marched on Washington and the United States would have mowed them down. Because that's what they did. That's what they did. That's the best way to put it. Them people was out there marching and protesting, and they mowed the protesters. These are not people got weapons. These are their own citizens. So to put in perspective, this is the March on Washington. Imagine if the United States went out there and mowed them people down because they saying they protested. 7,000. Some people saying 30,000. But I'm going to stick with 7. I haven't verified 30, but I know it's more than 7, but 7's a good number. Now imagine these people protesting. Imagine a George Floyd protest, and they just went out there and just laid everybody down that's just protesting. That's what they did. But nobody knows, because guess what? You don't got no freedom in Iran. So there's not a whole bunch of video. There's not they don't show nothing on the news. Everything is kept behind the curtain. The only reason we've seen it, some people had phones and recorded it, and it's been all over social media, the protests. I remember it. Some people been over there protesting hard. But just think about how brutal you are to shoot 7,000 Iranians because they don't want to be under that strict regime, which is crazy strict. Okay, so when I said police action, meaning disappointing with weapons, but no boots on the ground. But as you said, it's a coup. They setting it up. Yeah, they setting it up. They're not gonna. America's not gonna go in there and do nothing. America's just trying to knock the people with the guns down so the people can take over. That's it. They're just trying to liberate the people. That's all. That's all. Which to me is a righteous thing. I'm with Trump on that. He gonna get good. He gonna look. Listen, Trump gonna look real good. Trump is gonna look real good if he liberate them people. There's a video I seen in a certain area where they want to be liberated. And they was outside and it was like a shopping area. And they looked just like Americans, like the ladies had on short skirts and they look like white girls, right? In America, like, when you have a festival, Rolling Loud or something, that's the day they was in a little shopping area. And the one thing I seen, and these are the ones that want liberation, I seen two ladies holding hands. They was lovers. I said, okay. They was lovers. And you can't do that over there. But me, I don't believe in saying you can't be gay. I don't believe in that kind of stuff. I believe that we should live just like God. And people say, what you mean live by God? God don't condone two men being together, two women. Right. But God don't touch you though. Do it. God don't touch you. God don't touch you. So when you do wrong, you just do wrong. Don't nothing come out the sky and strike you. So if you're going to live like God, you're going to let people make their own decision and then they get their judgment, but you're not going to force them to do what you want to do. Because imagine if God was strict. None of us would make it to heaven. I know I wouldn't. If God was strict, I ain't got a damn chance. I don't just keep it real. If God was strict like Iran, I don't got a chance. I might as well pack my bags and just go on to hell, find the escalator down. Where's the elevator going down? Which, I don't believe in that, but it's funny. But yeah, I don't got a chance. If God was like Iran, I'm done. The same could be said about North Korea, but North Korea, right, is out in the middle of nowhere, right? Does not have no big uprising that they know about, and they not in the way of the money. And North Korea is not funding terrorism. North Korea is not funding. See, Iran is funding all of the robberies that's going on in Africa and everywhere. So they're funding Al-Shabaab, ISIS, the Houthis. I can't even name all the terrorist groups that Iran is the one funding them. And they're going around. Who's seen the Houthis land on that tanker and take that ship? Where they get helicopters, right? Where they get helicopters to land on the ship, get out with weapons, and take the ship. Who funding that? Who's seen that video? Search it. Search the Houthis captured ship and watch it right now and come back. You'll see. And Iran It's funding all of these groups, and these groups is in there disrupting business. That whole region want them gone. But they just tolerated them and tried to fight the terrorists. But now that they unalive 7,000 of their own people, they're like, we can get them out of here now. We got support right within the country because America don't want to run it. So they're going to wait till somebody want to run it. Say, you want to run it? We'll help you get rid of them. And that's basically what's going on. That's why they wiping out all the leadership so that the people that when they take over, they ain't got to worry about them old leadership. They going to unalive all the old leadership. And guess who they got doing that? Israel. Israel wiped them out. They had a meeting, Israel blew them up. They had another meeting to get some more leaders, blew them up. I mean, they wiped the whole building out clean. All the new leadership. So right now, they don't have no leadership. They're asking the son, you want to take over? He's like, hell no, I want to take over. That's what's going on. Iran let their enemy know and created opposition in their own country. And then their enemy is taking advantage of that opposition. That is, don't let nobody tell you nothing different. That is the bottom line what's going on. Iran created too many Iranian enemies, too much opposition. And so America's going to go in there and put that opposition in power. But the opposition don't have the military to get in power, so America going to knock them down. You watch what I'm telling you. It won't be no time where you're going to see them storming them buildings. Watch. You're going to see the opposition storming and in the streets dancing. Watch. Any kind of law, because the only law you're supposed to have is civil law, no religious law. There has to be a separation of church and state, a separation of synagogue and state, a separation of mosque and state. That has to be separate. You cannot have a religious government. It's not going to work. It's not never going to work. Never. You cannot have a religious government. Religion has to be by choice. You have to have a government that's basic. Stop lights, don't run the red lights, drive the speed limit, don't steal out the store. You can't be unaliving people. You can't be raping people. You can't be violence. You can't be breaking stuff like that. That's the law that you got to have. As far as who I pray to, what I dress like, you cannot tell me I got to pray 5 times a day. You can't enforce that with police. If I want to be gay, you can't tell me I can't be gay. How? How? How you going to tell me how to live my life? You don't own my life. And whatever I'm doing, if it's not harming nobody, mind your business. Gay people don't bother me. Gay people ain't never harmed me no kind of way. They ain't never did nothing to me. What do I care if you gay? That ain't none of my business. I'm gonna have a country be like, no, you can't be gay in my country. Now I gotta police your bedroom. Bruh. I ain't policing your bedroom, okay? Nobody should suffer from doing nothing if it ain't hurting the other. Yeah, you got to be able to speak out against the powers that be, but you want to speak in a way for change, but you don't want to speak in a threatening way. But yeah, you want to speak just like when Ganja was illegal. We was out there, legalize it, legalize it. So you're going to unalive me because I want to legalize marijuana? Make that make some sense. So I don't got the right to protest to legalize it? I don't got the right to protest the police doing that to George Floyd? Now, when people get out there and burning up stuff and tearing stuff up, arrest them. Arrest them. But as far as just unaliving people, nah, come on, man. They was doing too much. And they messing up the money. They're messing up the money. They losing money. Tourists want to go to Iran, want to go to Iraq. We want to go see stuff. We just don't want you to be no fanatic.